only thing we have to
Beer.
is
Beer.
itself.
Beer. So many choices.
Only no function beer well without.
Woohoo! Beer! Hello and welcome to another episode of Beer Busters, where we're going to bring in the news and reviews of some wonderful brews. My name is Dan Baker, joined as always by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hefner.
and our from entertainer,
Wayne Baker.
And now, today, we have the triumphant return of two guys who I'm sure by now hold the record for how many times they've been on the show.
Better.
I mean, other than the three of us at this
Yeah.
table. We are speaking, of course, about the two and only
Luke.
And Trevor.
from, of course, Evil Genius.
We should have rehearsed that.
It's not like you haven't done it before.
Damn it.
Guys, thank you for
Can
coming
you
back
please
out.
say your name?
I state your name.
Line.
Guys, thank you for coming back out. I'm very excited you guys are back with us again.
We're
It's a lot of
excited to
fun.
be here, Tom.
It works. Why not? But you were kind enough to bring along some samplings from Evil Genius, as well as you called them, some guest beers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I'm excited to get to. We'll go into some of those a little bit later. Now, I know we have a sipping beer that Steph has been geeking out about since about 12 o'clock this afternoon when she put on Facebook that she bought it. Steph, why don't you do the honors?
Yes, thank you to the Fridge in Lancaster for getting this wonderful beer to the East Coast. We are drinking Rogue's Sriracha Hot Stout Beer. And while I don't think it's hot, it is definitely delicious, and it definitely tastes like sriracha. And it is really, 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 really good.
I'm glad it's not hot.
I expected
I
hotter.
wish it was hot,
I know you do, but I'm glad
but
it's
I
not.
love the flavor.
But
Some
it's
like
got a
it
nice
hot.
taste.
At first, I tasted it, and it was roasty, and I was like, oh, wait. It does taste like sriracha. It's really good.
A little bit, but it's got the darkness you'd expect out of it from when you see it pour. I like it.
Well, it's still a beer. It's not like, hey, here's some like sriracha.
Exactly.
Right
Oh,
from
yeah.
the bottle.
Yeah.
They were smart to pair it with a stout background. I think
yeah.
the roastiness really holds up
No, I
to
canceled it out.
the siracha flavor.
It'd be cool to cook with. I would be
Ooh.
interested.
Oh, that, yeah.
Steph, get on it.
No, I
How
don't
many
drink
bottles
it.
did they
I'd
have?
rather.
The fridge got 60 bottles in.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so
I
pretty
bought
limited
two.
supply of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And that's the first inkling of it being anywhere even remotely close to us. And
But I like it. I'm glad I got to try it because I know when it first broke, I did report on that in a previous episode of Beer Busters. Just saying. And I actually, I told you earlier, Steph, I wanted to find this for you for Christmas, but it wasn't available out here yet.
Yeah, it's very, very recently, as of the recording of this episode, is it reaching our area. And I love the bottle. It's an homage to the sriracha bottle.
yeah, it's the nice bright red with the big cock on it and the green cap.
This will be going on the shelf for sure.
Good display piece.
Yes.
Everyone loves a cock on the shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it is. It's like that dog penis red, too. Like that very distinct, like red.
it is. Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah. On that note, it's a good beer. Kudos to you, Rogue.
Evil Geniuses in the house.
Yep, that's how you know. Well, I know we have a lot of shenanigans to go, but let's go into this. Okay, Steph, guess what?
What?
I have a list.
Yay! Thank
Sort
you,
of.
Kevin Keller, for this list.
Yes, thank you, Kevin, for this list. Now, it's an infographic. Wayne, I'm sure we can post this online if I remember to remind you. I'm going to write that down.
Yeah, as long as you tell me, otherwise I'll
Wayne
forget.
Pick. All right.
Yeah, email.
So, I will send you an email probably while we're recording.
Okay.
While we were recording.
So, the infographic that I have is 12 ways to upgrade your case of beer. So, for those who drink the macro beers, which apparently are nothing to fuss over, this infographic shows us ways that you can have a beer that is similar to it, but go the craft avenue. So, it starts off with, if you like Blue Moon, go with Harpoon UFO White. If you like
Good
Bud
beer.
Light, yes, I agree.
yeah, solid.
Note that you said good beer before I said Bud Light. If you
Harpoon
like,
UFO White.
yes,
Good beer.
If you like Bud Light, go
Go
with
sit in the corner.
Go sit in the corner and think about what you've done.
yes.
It is hard to make, though, like Bud Light.
Oh, yeah.
Like, in fairness, too.
I will always say you have to be a crazy chemist to be
Yeah.
able to do that over and
Yeah.
over again.
And we did a blind tasting on the show recently of macro beers, and our unanimous favorite was Bud Light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to drink Miller Lite. Like, that was
But
my
is that
friends
like
and I,
being-
like, that was like our beer.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
was Miller.
like being, the tallest midget?
It is,
Being,
but
like, the
it's still
best one?
something for that midget to be proud
I
of.
don't think you
All
can
right.
use Can you use midget?
I just did.
I mean, like,
Like twice. And you said it already.
think about the conversations that have been had around this table.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, you really think midgets where the line is drawn?
Yeah, I guess not.
that's true. Well, for those of you who, for some reason, like Bud Light, try Abita Light. Now,
They're for sale, by the way.
are they really?
Just found that out today.
Evil Genius should buy 'em.
Little birdie told me that they're shopping that around. So it might happen in 3 weeks before you air this, but you heard it here first.
There you go. There's some.
We
There's the
promise.
future news.
Yep.
We promise.
If you happen to like Bud Light Lime, try Negro Modelo with a lime. If
enough.
you like Budweiser, try Stout's Gold Lager.
Ooh, yes.
If you like Coors Original, try Great Divide Hoss Rye Lager. If you like Guinness, try Left Hand Milk Stout, which I've had on Nitro and is
Yeah.
fantastic.
Amazing.
Yeah.
If you like Heineken, try, I'm assuming this is Spanish, and it's Jever Pilsner, Jever.
I am not familiar with that one.
Javier.
I see
No,
that
that's
around.
No I in
German.
there.
German.
Hever.
Hever?
Hever.
Hever.
Trevor.
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 Trevor Pilsner.
Midget.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a German. In the green bottle. I had it on a, what do you call that ship, Rich? In Boston, where the German beer was on? The battleship or missile cruiser. I drank that beer on a missile cruiser.
All right.
A German missile cruiser in Boston.
That seems fitting. If you like Michelob Ultra, try Bell's Two-Hearted Ale.
No way, really?
Apparently. Yeah, if you're looking for low-carb beer, Bell's Two-Hearted Ale, an incredible IPA, carries a surprisingly low 5 carbs. If you're just looking to cut down on carbs, liquor makes a lot more sense.
So basically, it's just like it was just like pale malt, then I guess,
Must be.
or just like Pilsner malt.
But
just
the
basically-
idea
yeah.
with that is not that you'll like it because you like
Those
Miller
beers,
High
like,
Life.
they're comparable
completely
anyway.
different.
If
Is that
you
an amber color?
If you
Wait,
like,
what?
Yeah,
Well,
it's not like
hard.
super
but
light.
no, but you can throw in just like a little bit of like
Just to get the color.
something that's like
something
the
really
Crystal
dark.
75 or something, and it'll darken it up
That's
like
true.
pretty quick.
Yeah.
I didn't
I think
about
if you like Miller High Life and you're counting carbs, you should just leave the room.
Yeah, well,
Make High Life light too, which is weird.
Wow.
You could
That's
burn
weird.
some calories while you're leaving.
While you're
the
leaving
room.
the room, yes.
yeah. But if you happen to like Miller High Life, they're suggesting Mama's Little Yella pills. Sorry, Mama's
Oscar
Little Yella
Blues.
pills.
Ah, yes.
If you like Miller Lite, they recommend Shiner Premium. If you like Pabst Blue Ribbon, including
You
wearing
are
their
a hipster.
hats, they recommend Narragansett Lager. And if you like Yingling, they recommend Brooklyn Lager.
I thought they were gonna recommend Fat Tire.
There you go. Yeah.
It's
But-
basically the same beer,
Yeah, more or less.
more or less.
Well, that infographic.
I mean, not really, but kind of the same.
Kind of, sort of, but not
Should we
really.
do a
both
blind
brown.
tasting?
There we go. Apparently,
Yingling, Fat Tire, and Brooklyn Lager.
We
No,
should get all the.
Yeah.
This could be a
Should
future
totally do
game.
that.
If we get all these beers, macros and craft, and then have a game to see if you could tell the difference. Which is which?
I wonder who will be able to tell the difference between Miller High Life and Two Hearted.
I don't know. That's going to be a tough
This is going to be a
one.
really hard
Yeah.
game.
stay tuned to Beer Busters Podcast. That infographic will be available on beerbusterspodcast.com, assuming I remember to tell Wayne.
Yes.
Now, this one was kind of cool. Scientists have unearthed and sipped a 170-year-old
Oh, I
beer
saw this.
found
Yeah, this
in
is
a
interesting.
shipwreck. The article starts off, when you are picking out a beer, what flavors do you look for? If hints of soured milk and burnt rubber or a goatee taste sound delightful to you, then
That was goatee, not goatee, right?
no goatee, right? Yeah,
Okay.
goatee,
Wait, like a goat or like a goatee?
They're like a goat,
like a goat, like the animal.
like that, like a goat stall.
Yeah. Then brews that were aged for 170 years at the bottom of the Baltic Sea might be just your thing.
That's a hipster beer right there.
Yes.
That really is.
If there ever were
Ultimate
one.
hipster beer.
So
You
scientists
probably haven't had it because it's been aging for 170
been on the
years.
bottom of the ocean for so long.
I got into it when it was 169 years old.
Yeah, you don't want it. Like, I was into it when it was like brewed. I'm not into it anymore. Their early stuff was so much better.
So 18th century.
Oh God. The bottles came from 165 feet below the surface from of the Baltic from the wreckage of a schooner that sank near Finland's Åland Island in the 1840s.
Of course.
Yes. In 2010, divers found 150 bottles of champagne at the wreck, as well as 5 beer bottles, though one did not survive the journey back to land, so then we were left with 4. When the bottle...
Imagine being that guy.
the guy that broke it?
It's a demerit right there.
Oh man! When the bottle broke in the diver's boat, it started to foam, and some gastronomically adventurous divers attested to the liquid. Attested that the liquid indeed tasted like beer. Okay, go ahead and drink it. According to the study authors,
They did not immediately die.
yes. The beers were bright golden yellow with little haze. They claimed. They have been diluted by seawater up to 30% over the 170 years they were at the bottom of the sea. So the drinks might have been stronger than their current ABV levels of 2.8 to 3.2%, and I hope they were. So basically, Old beer.
30% seawater.
yes, seawater will dilute the beer, much like you would expect it to.
Yeah.
That's gross. You drank it from the bottom of like the boat.
It's like
that's
a goza.
I guess.
Yes. Well, I actually saw this, and I read it on Gizmodo, and they had talked about how they actually did like a chemical analysis because you couldn't taste what the beer originally tasted like because it's been sitting at the bottom of the ocean for a century and a half. But yeah, they said they were trying to do a chemical analysis to try to get an idea of what they would have originally been like. And one of the things they said that was really interesting is how different the two beers were. That one was a really hoppy beer and the other was I forget what, but they were like two very different styles of beer.
Oh, really? There's more than one style?
Yeah. There was
that's
like
pretty
two.
cool.
Well, I mean, style. I mean, they could have been, whether they
Just
were
whatever.
intentionally
Yeah.
styled or not. I think back then it was just like whatever it turned out to be.
That's
was,
cool,
but,
yeah.
The
Nice.
less hoppy beer had a higher than normal amount of a chemical called phenylethanol, which may have given it a rose-like note.
That's right. Yes.
Now, the final bit of news, I'm not going to read the whole thing because it sounds kind of personal. It's from Stone, from their blog, and we'll make sure we link it off of our website, assuming I remember to tell Wayne this also.
Send me an email.
So Stone is discontinuing their Stone Pale Ale, which was their first ever beer that they made. And of course, on social media, they had a huge outpouring of, oh my God, why are you doing this? And one person suggested, open source the recipe so it can live forever.
Nice.
And they did. So it goes into ingredients and how much and how hot it should be when you're mashing and everything. It's pretty cool to go through. And I don't want to read the whole thing because I'm going to sound like a moron, but this is why you should go to beerbustedpodcast.com and click the link. Basically, some of the ingredients are 10 pounds plus 7 ounces crushed North American 2-row pale malt, 1 pound plus 4.2 ounces crushed 60-liter crystal malt. You also want to use...
Lava Bond.
60
Lava Bond.
Thank you. Yeah.
Looks-
See, I
they're both
already
L's,
sound
yeah.
like an idiot. More crystal malt, 9 gallons water, 44-ounce Columbus hops.
It's Autonum, right? Columbus and Autonum. Isn't that what they use?
Yep.
it?
There we go. Yeah, Irish moss, Autonum again. They use 1 package of White Labs WLP 007 dry English ale yeast or
really?
WLP 002 English ale yeast. And 1 cup plus 3 tablespoon late dried malt extract.
See, that's interesting because like pale ales are so not like that anymore. Like it's a good beer, but like the modern pale ale does not use like an English yeast
Yeah.
at all. Like it doesn't. And like when they came out with that, like in the 90s, there were very few pale ales that were really like hop forward and great. And that would probably have been one of the more dank like beers because they were using Columbus hops, which are still like really kind of dank and sticky like by nature. That's an interesting, like the English ale yeast kind of thing, like threw me off a little bit. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think pale ales have kind of been retrofitted as like IPA lights rather than their
Session IPAs.
Yeah, session IPAs.
Yeah. Whereas I think a pale ale originally wasn't, like you said, like a huge, hop bomb kind of a beer or even like a really pronounced hop character.
No, like
that.
we do
Yeah.
a pale ale, and I mean it's 6%. Like that's
Yeah.
that's kind of an IPA, but like but like not really. There's no style anymore really. Like you can just there are certain things that do have
Well, they're
very strict-
guidelines.
Yeah,
That's
guidelines.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. So,
Yeah.
like, I think it's good to have that aspect, but people are being more inventive with how they interpret those guidelines.
Yeah,
Including us.
Yeah, well, and I mean, if you get great beer out of it, you get great beer out of it. I mean, there's no reason to paint yourself into a corner by having to brew specifically to a traditional style and not allowing yourself to experiment a little bit.
Well, that's
There's a lot of
And they're gonna-
controversy, however, when people are entering beers into competitions that
Right.
have very strict guidelines and beers are winning that are not falling
That are
within
not,
those
yeah.
guidelines. So we want to
like
celebrate that.
Entering
but
a Doppelbock into a Bock category and winning a gold medal for it at the GABF.
Exactly.
Crazier things have happened.
Yes.
Just saying.
true.
If you follow the Stone recipe with all the amounts and everything they have on their website, you will yield about 5 gallons, which is about 54 12-ounce bottles, or 30 22-ounce bottles. So if you want to brew a lot and you want to brew a well-known beer that has been liked forever and ever, check out Stone's blog via beerbusterspodcast.com.
Absolutely. That's pretty cool, and I like that they use the term open source the recipe.
Yes.
That makes me happy.
Yes, I enjoyed that as well. So that kind of brings us to the end of the news. Oh, did we want to call an audible?
Yeah, we should talk about it.
All right,
mean,
at least briefly.
yeah.
So there was breaking news as of recording of this episode today for Pennsylvania.
It's March 6th,
Right.
Friday.
The
Yeah.
Queen Mum, Her Majesty, Elizabeth II,
Has found a
passed
date
away
on
this
Tinder.
morning.
I would swipe right for her.
But more importantly,
Crown jewels.
Giggity.
Yeah. No, as of what is today, March 6th, the recording of this episode, beer distributors in Pennsylvania have been given the all clear to sell 12 packs of beer. Traditionally, it's only been 24 packs or 30, depending on the shit beer that you drink. So they are, in my opinion, taking a step in the right direction, being able to sell fewer amounts of beer. I'd like to see it get to a point where you can go in and buy a bottle and go to the register, or mix your own
a
six.
case and a bottle in the same building.
Right. Exactly. And I love the bottle shops that you have, like the Acme by Me, which I know you said you guys are doing tasting at right now this moment. Somehow you're in 2 places at once.
It's magic.
Yeah.
Whoa, I believe it's not so.
That Acme is selling mixed 6 bomber bottles and prepackaged packs as well, which is kind of cool. But Pennsylvania overall has kind of archaic laws.
Yeah. Well, what's really weird now is that this now creates a situation where in a bottle shop or a bar, you cannot take out more than 12 beers at once. At a distributor, you cannot take out less than 12 beers at once.
Yeah.
It's just really weird. And I mean, it is a step in the right direction, though.
Well, it's weird because it's just like a reinterpretation of the existing laws.
Yeah.
Which kind of boggles my mind that they're just like, all right, we're actually just going to change this and pretend that we didn't get it wrong the first time, or we're just changing because we feel like it this time.
Right.
And which is basically what it is. But we were just talking about this today because, you know, this is specific to Pennsylvania. Everywhere else you can sell 6-packs, 12-packs, etc. And we're going to be getting in touch with some of our wholesalers. We don't do a 12-pack right now. To find out outside of Philadelphia or outside of Pennsylvania how prevalent 12-packs really are for sale. Like, is it something we need to do, or is it something that really isn't going to make much of a difference? I don't know. It's kind of it's very interesting to see them. They're being kind of radical. Like, they reinterpreted laws in terms of for brew pubs as well only a couple months ago.
And then stores can like deliver beer to people.
Like
you know?
that's
Right.
like 3
Yeah.
major
Recent,
changes in the
yeah.
past 6 months, which is surprising given that it seemed like they hadn't changed many laws for
decades.
decades.
But there's
Yeah.
been a lot of activism too, like that's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
happened, like within the last couple
People
of years.
haven't spoken out about it before.
Exactly. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden there was this flood of people being like, hey, like what the fuck? And
Yeah.
you know, the goal there is that whoever is actually in power listens, and it seems like they're doing that. So long may it continue, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's kind of I think it's kind of a win-win because I mean, changing the rules that a tasting room doesn't have to give away samples of their beer; they can actually sell beers on tap, or that you can buy this many beers at this place. It's just making more commerce, which is more money for the state, more tax money. So
Yeah, because if you're
Why
a
not?
brew pub, you used to be able to you used to have food.
yeah,
Like that was the thing in order to sell pints, and now they're like, oh well, you just can't be open past like a certain time, and you can just sell pints because that's a cumbersome thing, like to be like a brewery and have a tasting room, but also like be a restaurant. Like you don't want to have like, hey, here's some like chips and like stale cheese, you know what I mean? Like that, but like, and so it creates a whole nother burden too. But that's kind of been alleviated, which is interesting. Like it's nuts, but it's good because it gives more people access to beer, which is a good thing, and it gives people more choice.
I wonder
So-
though, will a beer distributor actually like this, like across the board? Because suddenly now they have to go from, and a lot of places they're not set up like beer stores outside of Pennsylvania. So this is going to be quite costly for a store to redevelop the design of their store to accommodate 12-packs. Yet they're only doing it for 12-packs. They still can't sell 6-packs.
Yeah, because for every person that walks out, they literally have to walk out with 2 12-packs. So every individual buys twice as much beer.
Right.
So, and it's a lower cost just to have like a pallet on the floor and a stack of cases
Yeah.
than it is to have like nice shelves. So all of a sudden you're increasing your costs when you have to like give your store a facelift, but then people are also potentially buying half the volume.
Maybe
per
coming
sale.
twice as often, but that changes your model for your cash flow as well.
Exactly.
So-
And it creates that weird line, like you said,
Yeah.
are people going to go to a beer distributor and get a 12-pack, or are they just going to go to a bottle shop and get 12 beers?
For me, I would be more likely to go to a distributor to buy a 12-pack now. I
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
seldomly buy a case of the same beer unless I'm having
Same
a
here.
party.
Yeah.
I do or unless it's habanero sculpin. But I very seldomly want an entire
whole
case.
case,
And
yeah.
now that they're like you guys did the lunatic
Yeah,
pack,
when we
the
did the-
mix
Yeah, we
pack.
did the mix pack,
Those are
yeah.
the 12 packs that attract me as a
And I
consumer.
think that's where the appeal is going to be for distributors is doing mixed 12-packs.
Yeah.
That people can go, because then instead of, it opens up a whole new market for people, or a whole new set of options for people who don't want to buy.
Well, I think
24
people
of
will
the
be
same
more
beer,
likely.
or
Like
12
right
of the
now, a
same
lot
beer.
of people, and for most beer distributors, the variety pack is their best seller, like across any brewery. I think what will probably end up happening now is that you'll go in and you'll pick up a mixed 12-pack of stouts and a mixed 12-pack of trogs or something like that. So you may still buy your case of beer, but now you have the choice to not all get it from one specific brewery.
Right.
So.
But it's going to affect pricing too, because like the bottle shops charge a premium, like their margins are a lot higher because they can, because they're the only game in town, right? So now that they're going to get competition from all the distributors around them, how's that going to affect their margin?
And distributors are already working on a wholesale sort of.
Yeah.
and
flow.
will it be?
Yeah.
Will you pay half of the price of a case, or is a 12-pack going to be more expensive than half of a case?
Right.
That's
I
another.
know from like a packaging perspective, like having those 2 12-packs is more costly than having a case
a
of
whole
beer.
case.
Yeah.
And how much of a pain in the ass is it to make a mix pack?
I mean, every brewery does it differently. Some of them are hand packed. Some people have like an automated way to do things. But from what I can gather, most places it's like hand packing, and it's a lot of work. So I don't know. I don't think we're going to be going back to doing a variety pack anytime soon for that exact reason. But we definitely are going to look at doing single 12-packs of maybe our core brands, or maybe a potential on 1 or 2 seasonals that we do. But I don't think we would go all the way and do everything in 12-packs. I don't think that makes sense for us.
No, it doesn't. Well, it's another SKU too. I mean, that's kind of how you have to look at it. It's like it's more real estate on the shelf. And that's the game that we really play, right? It's like after you get the beer in the bottle, we're all buying real estate.
Yep.
Everybody, us, Budweiser, everybody, we're all
That's
buying
true,
real
yeah.
estate.
We're about to implement like a new CRM system, and I had to provide the company we're working with on it like a list of every product that we've ever made and the different variations. And it was crazy. Like we've done 63 different things since we started.
Wow.
Now that counts the fact that there's like some of the beers were like there was 3 beers in a variety pack, so it counts each one of those. But that's still like a lot, and it counts like a half, a sixtel, and a bottle. Like those are 3
Yeah,
different
so
things.
Evil Eye has
but that's
3
still a lot.
SKUs, you know,
Like every
one brand.
variation of
Yep.
every product.
So, but it was crazy how quickly they add up.
Well, either way, regardless of the implications on how people buy beer or the economic implications,
It's nice
it's
to
a
see that
loosening of
The,
Oh, yeah,
discussion,
definitely.
the
Absolutely.
discussion
Yep.
has been started, and
Yeah.
they seem to be listening.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
we'll see where it goes.
No, it's cool.
It should definitely be interesting. Now, speaking of real estate, question for you guys. Any word on your physical space?
No, we were talking about that basically the whole car ride over here, and
I mean, in physical space, I'm both here and in South
In
Philly.
South Philly, right.
So,
Which is a pretty big
Work that
breakthrough
one out.
in and of itself. But
and when this airs, I'll also be in a 3rd place.
Oh,
possibly a 4th.
you never know.
The Queens.
nice. No, we're looking. We have some things that we like, but then it's just numbers. Like that's all it is. It's not for lack of desire or anything. It's just numbers. We've just got to make everything line
I feel
up
like
in the right
we're
way.
always saying, "Oh, we'll have an announcement really soon," but we want to get this right. So I'm
Exactly.
happy to wait and get
If it's
it
worth
right.
doing, it's
Yeah.
worth doing right, and that's the thing. Take your time if you know the idea is gonna be great. Don't just half-ass it to get in the door.
But we legit have a couple places that would be awesome, and I think we'll definitely come back as soon as we have that. And
Yeah, we want to
share
break
that
the
news with
news.
you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, definitely.
I've got a basement you could use.
Cool.
Just saying.
Nice.
I just can't wait when we record our first episode on location at Evil
That'll be fun.
Geniuses.
Yeah, that's gonna be
It's
a
gonna
lot
be
of fun.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome, actually.
We'll make it a big party.
No, but we want we've been just like we're expanding into a couple new markets with the brand, as well as we hired some new people. So it's we had a really gangbuster January and February. Like we doubled what we did this year, January and February, over what we did last year. So we were just really trying to keep pace, which is good.
Yeah.
And the building thing is something that we're working on very diligently. But we also have an operating business too that we have to make sure that runs and grows, or else we can't pay for buildings.
Imagine
So it's
bigger immediate concerns.
yeah. So it's a balance of the two. You have to take care of now, and then you have to take care of 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, 10 years from now at the same time. So it's just juggling those two things. It's tricky, but we can handle it. So.
Yeah, and the last time we had you guys on, I think was Brewphoria at the end of last year.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
You guys had just gotten into Pittsburgh pretty recently. Have you guys gotten into anywhere else since then?
That's been our last official launch, but we're going to launch in April in the northwestern part of PA, like the Erie area. They have a summer, they have beaches there, which is awesome.
What?
So they have Lake Erie. People go swimming there. They have a massive summer crowd. There are a bunch of colleges there. So
You need a geography lesson, Dan.
I just wouldn't have really thought
Pennsylvania
that.
does border a body.
Well,
border.
I know that Erie and Lake Erie, but it just seems weird.
Yeah, and then we're gonna go back into State College, PA, in that bubble, with the distributor too in April. So, and then we've been looking at kind of rounding out the central part of Pennsylvania, which we have a gap in, and we're looking at DC, Virginia too, and just sort of exploring our options down there. But I mean, we have enough to kind of keep us going in terms of sales. But I'd like to grow. I'd like to be really aggressive this year with how we grow. So I want to try to launch into some more markets, and primarily we try to follow, we do the best in grocery stores. Those are our top accounts. So we try to follow that footprint, wherever there are grocery stores. Those are the areas where we tend to do better just as a company in all of our markets. So
Follow Wegmans.
basically, yeah. No, well, that's kind of the goal, is to try to actually have distribution at every Wegmans in Pennsylvania, because then you can start doing more programming stuff with corporate, and you can get in their circular and their menu magazine, and that's how you really take that business and make it a really big business. So
And do a beer dinner.
Yeah,
So
I
we're
know.
already talking with the guys up at Allentown about doing one up there.
That would
Yeah.
be amazing.
And obviously, I live in Collegeville, so I've talked to the guys there. They're interested too. So I think that'll be a lot of fun, because the chefs there, I think, would have a lot of fun
Oh, yeah.
with that. So
Yeah, they would.
Yeah.
did you go to one at Wegmans before?
No, but I know they just did the one with
Garrett
Garrett
Oliver.
Oliver.
Yeah.
And a friend of ours, Brad, was there. I was stalking his Instagram account the
He
whole
spilled
night.
beer on me at a party once. Fucking Garrett Oliver.
I think
No,
you
you
may
need
have
to s-
brought that up before.
You need to
when
say,
you were on.
Garrett
Yeah.
Oliver, he spilled beer on
No,
me.
he tripped. He's a good guy, but he literally tripped over his own 2 feet and and just right down the front of my pants, right in the middle of this thing, and I'm just all right, dude, thanks, man. Now I look like a jackass.
I pissed myself the
Yeah.
rest of the night.
Yeah,
I
but
know.
he's craft beer god.
No, he was
so.
really nice about it too, but I was just oh man, come on, dude. It's
No,
not your first beer,
But now
Because you've never spilled a beer before.
never.
I know, I never have.
You don't need a lame reason to bring up in conversation that you met Garrett Oliver, because somebody can just see it on your pants. And you
Yeah,
go,
no.
Oh yeah, no, it was Garrett
No,
Oliver.
dude, it was great. No, actually, I was fun.
I was
We
cool with it. We're tight. We go way back.
Yeah, we ended up missing we stayed out really late. We
I
ended
think we
up.
told that
Did
story.
we tell that
already, yeah.
story? We
We
missed
did,
our
yeah,
flight
yeah.
back. Okay.
Yeah.
Shut up, Luke.
My life isn't that great. I don't really have any news stories. Actually, that's not true. So
here we
last weekend we were at the Kennett Brew Fest, where their Winter Fest. They do one in the fall, and then they do one in the winter. And it was the end of the night, and this girl came up and was like, "Hey, do you guys have any beer?" And they're like, "Hey, look, you have to unplug the things, and you don't want to piss anybody off." So she took the dump. I swear, you know Sasha from Philly Brewing Company? Do you know him?
No.
Yeah.
Anyway, we were talking with Rob, who's a brewer from Twin Lakes Brewing Company in Greenville. So we're all standing there just breaking our shit down. And this girl takes the bucket and pours it into her glass. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. And we just looked at each other and gagged. What the fuck is wrong with you? There's more beer. And we were downtown Kennett Square. There's a bar 50 yards up and to the left. It was the most revolting thing I have ever seen. And my buddy Greg was there. It was me, Greg, my buddy from high school, Greg, Sasha from Philly Brewing Company, and Rob from Twin Lakes. And we just kind of looked at each other dude, what the fuck? It's so weird.
so
I
gross.
swear to God, man. It was we nearly threw up. It was so gross. It was so freaking gross. It's like drinking the bong water.
Yeah,
You know
it's,
what I mean?
It's worse than that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's people's saliva in there.
Yeah,
That's the part that
yeah.
gets me. I've joked around about mixing a bunch of beers together and just drinking it. And when we did the blind taste test, I
think
did
you
that.
did kind of do like
Yeah.
that.
And
it all
I
tastes the s-
unknowingly drank some of it.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
But it wasn't like the leavings from the rest
No,
of us and like a
like-
whole
No, at the
evening
end of the festival,
people
like
that you don't even know.
like from noon to 4, like the entire
Ew.
duration of the thing, you got the leftovers.
That's disgusting.
That is gross.
Thank God it was cold out. That at least it wasn't warm beer.
Oh, dude, it was so disgusting.
Doesn't sound
That
like
is
she went
very
there.
small
true.
comfort. I'll tell you.
Yo, she may have vomited instantly.
I read
if
an
it
article
was.
about the bacteria that's in the when you play beer pong. How bad that is.
Oh, I can
Yeah.
imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's why I never got sick in college. Like I used to get all those germs. And, like,
You're
you know, I felt
fortified.
the tolerance. Yeah.
Yeah, that's some fun logic there that
Yep.
you're got. Yeah.
I don't get sick because I
Dr.
played
Luke.
a lot of beer pong back in college.
Yeah. So that was it. Well, now I get sick. It's like I don't have kids. Like everybody who has kids, like
Yeah.
they're just cesspools of disease. Like,
Yep.
I was like, hey man, like I text my friend, hey, what are you doing? He's like, oh dude, I can't come out. Like
Everybody
all the
in the
kids
house
are,
is sick.
yeah. So it's like, oh, that's awesome. Because like when you're a kid, you don't know. Like, all right, if you have a cold, you don't wipe it and then wipe it off your nose and directly on someone else's face.
Yeah.
Like that's just like inappropriate behavior.
Yeah.
And
You
like,
also know that you don't, drink out of a dump bucket at a beer fest.
dude, that was so. Dude, I was so gross. I was so disgusting.
Dan, how do you get
Yes.
us past that?
I don't know.
If you are the girl that Luke is talking about, please get in touch with us and explain to us your thought process.
No, I knew who she was too. That was the messed up.
Oh, okay,
part.
never mind then.
We can do call-ins now. Just listen to our last episode.
So you mentioned about your new employees. One of
Yes.
them we love and has been on the show before.
Cool.
Trevor.
Yep.
He was on our Brewphoria episode,
Awesome,
and
right.
you
Not you,
stole
Trevor.
him. Yeah, the other Trevor.
Which
Trevor
isn't confusing at all,
Fitzgerald.
having two Trevors in the
yeah.
same company. Like, you know,
Trevor versus Trevor
I know. There's
from
no one's
Susquehanna
named,
Brewing.
No one's named Trevor.
I'm international Trevor now. He's domestic.
Oh, there you go. And the other is Andrew
Yeah.
from CJ's.
Have you met Andrew before?
I don't think I have. I was trying to think back, but we do know Trevor very well.
Yeah,
So
just-
how did you manage to reel those guys in?
well, Andrew, I met because we did a couple events with them at the bottle shop up there, and phone. So like a couple,
Happens all
and he
the
was
time.
like really well organized. Like he planned everything. The event went off well. Like he made sure everything was like in. I don't know. He had a lot of people in the industry call us and give him like recommendations. Like, look, he hasn't had a shot yet, but he would do a really good job. And it was like people that we knew and kind of respected. And he did really well in the interviews. So we figured, we're like, yeah, man, like you seem like the kind of person we'd love to work with. So let's you can jump aboard. And then Trevor, we reached out to just randomly, like, hey, we're thinking about hiring somebody. Would you be interested? And he was like, nah, like I really like where I am and I'm not really trying to leave. And that was fine. And we kind of left it at that. And then like a couple months later, he kind of poked back around. He's like, hey, so are you still thinking about doing something? I'm not saying yes, but I would be interested in like talking to you guys about it. And then like, he nailed it. Like when we met with him, we were like, okay, because originally we were just going to hire one guy, and then we're like, you know what, like Andrew's really good too. So what if we get both of them? Like if we could figure out a way to do that, like if they both wanted the job and we could work it out, on paper, we were like, oh, let's just hire both of them. And they both wanted to work for us, and we both wanted them to join our team. And so like it was great. So it actually really kind of worked out.
That's awesome. We'll have to have all four of you on the show.
Yeah,
Can we
would've-
have a night where
we
you
can
don't have any
definitely do that.
events?
We
Probably
literally had 3 samplings today. We were at the 3 different Whackme's.
Whackme's.
Yeah.
Giggity.
We were at the 3 different Acme's today. The one in South Philly, one in Flowertown, and where's the other one?
Haverford.
Haverford.
Havertown.
Meet me at the Whackme in Flower Town.
They are a customer, by the way. You might not want to. Yep.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So
No. I'm talking to Trevor and
then-
be like, whack me,
I know.
idiot.
So shut up, Luke.
I hear that a lot.
So
Go
yeah,
sit in
they
the
end,
corner.
they end up doing 2 of those, and then our buddy Steve, who does a lot of festivals with us. I don't know if you guys have met him before in an event. Tall guy, blonde.
No. Who was the guy that was with you at Hibernation?
No, that's another Steve actually. That's Steve Zarati.
Steve's and Trevor's.
Is he international Steve or is he domestic Steve?
They're both domestic, so
Oh, that's boring.
yeah.
One's tall Steve.
Tall
Is he-
Steve
is
and
Steve-
short Steve?
Well, he's kind of York Steve
York Steve,
because he does stuff for us down there. 'Cause he
York
lives
Steve,
down-
and Tall Steve.
Like, we got hose in different area codes. You know what I mean? We plant our seed around in different parts. But we are actually really lucky in the fact that we have really great people who, like you guys, have been really supportive for us, and we have people who like doing samplings and stuff like that with us or for our brand. So we're very appreciative because it allows us to do. Just get the beer in more people's hands, frankly, because that's the goal, I guess, right? So,
well, as long as you keep making good beer, people are going to support you.
Exactly.
And you have an interesting brand that people are attracted to, whether it's the logo or the names of the beers or even just the two of you. You're kind of like characters, and I think those things.
Not quite sure
To
how
say
you guys
the
should
least.
take that, really.
I mean, it
That was a
nicest
very
way.
nice way to say what could have been said. Much worse.
You guys are fucking weird. But people think it's cool. It's weird in that cool way. It's like Bill Murray or that creepy uncle,
I need more beer.
It's that damn Sriracha beer.
What's that next
Oh, yeah.
beer?
Let's talk about the Preakness, and I'll try to open this.
Yes.
'Kay.
So every year for the past 2 years, and this is the third year, so every year for 3 years, they have there's been this what's called the Preakness at the Piazza. And it was organized by it's a bunch of volunteers to raise money for the MS Society, and so it's held at the Piazza Schmidt down in Northern Liberties,
Awesome space.
and everyone gets dressed up.
Nice.
I believe they have the Preakness on big screens, and up until this, they've had a lot of different beer sponsors. But this year, we are the official and only beer sponsor.
Ooh,
Nice.
which is really cool.
congratulations! That's great.
Yep. We get a lot of requests, unbelievable, for donation events, and we try to do some. We can't do all of them because we are also a for-profit business. But this one we really liked because we actually have a lot of personal connections with MS and a lot of our friends as well. So it made the most amount of sense to do. If we were going to do a big one, this was going to be the one we were going to choose to do. And it sounds like an awesome day. I love horse racing. I always have. So, combining that with beer, I think is going to be really, really awesome. But that event is on May 16th. Tickets are on sale already. I think it's going to be an awesome event. Last year they raised, I think, about $100,000, and their goal this year is for 150. So they've expanded it a little bit as well. And we're excited to be involved. But you'll be able to get tickets online, and we'll be there, and we'll be getting dressed up.
We'll be there.
And you'll be there.
You're not going to wear your Dumb and Dumber outfits, are
We'll be
you?
there. No, those are
It's gonna be-
retired. We
It's going to
retired
be pretty
those.
hot out, so I can't imagine
Yeah.
that those would do well in that type of weather.
So with that event, are there any partnerships with the restaurants that are right there, like PYT or anybody?
I believe they do have
Young
some
thing.
connection with some of the restaurants. I'm not sure which ones. And I know there's also a wine sponsor and a liquor sponsor as well. So
Yeah, we don't care about them.
Yeah.
No,
So-
there's a good restaurant there. I think it was King's Oak. It's right behind.
Yeah, King,
the-
I did a beer dinner there a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
There you go. They're the only place that I've had all-you-can-eat wings in Philly, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah, the dude that one of the dudes I think that owns that now started that website Philly Tonight, Sean. I got to talk to him. I was like, hey, what's going on in Philly type website. He's a pretty nice guy, knew his stuff. But it was cool. They had a maple glazed salmon, which was awesome.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was really good.
That sounds awesome.
They did well.
I need to go back there. Well, we have opened up another beer into the microphone. Thank you for that sound clip, Steph.
Yep.
What are we drinking now?
So this one comes from our friend John Stemler from Free Will Brewing Company. This is the Napoleon Reserve 2014, and it is a 7.9% ABV tart saison, re-fermented with Brett Rocks, Tuscan Merlot grape skins, French oak, and hibiscus flowers.
This is delicious. I really like this
I want to
beer.
know what Dan thinks.
Yeah, what do you think of this?
Well, we all know that sours are my absolute most favorite beer in the world. No, it's really good. I do like it. I kind of get an apple flavor out of it a little bit in the back.
Yeah, it's got a tart apple white wine kind of almost champagne-y like character to it.
Like a honey sweetness.
Yeah, and sort of in the tail end there's a honey sweetness.
Yeah, I get kind of almost like a cider
Yeah.
aspect to it.
Yeah,
You know,
like a
It's a
sparkling
cider
cider.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you don't want
exactly.
champagne on New Year's, have this.
Yep.
But it still has that nice tart, slight little funkiness to it.
Slight little funky.
This is really good. I really like this.
Done.
Where do we go from here?
Where do we-
We're
We're going into the game, right?
Beer or game? Because we have all those beers. Do
Let's
we wanna
open
split
another
that up?
beer. Yeah, let's open another beer.
All right, I'm gonna play
I
the
didn't even
thing.
finish this one yet.
I'm gonna play the thing. Where's the thing?
Which one? Beer me! Beer me! Beer me! Beer
All right, so
Steph is like rushing to empty her tasting glass. She's just like chugging
I wish I had
glasses
that on
left and
video.
right.
Let's drink that one.
So what are we doing for? There's a myriad of beers over there, a beeriad, if you will.
Yeah, so we're gonna do
That could be a
the.
title.
We'll do. These are some just beers that I was sort of given from our different wholesalers. This is the Sam Adams Rebel Session IPA.
I've had the standard Rebel IPA. It's really good.
Yeah, I've had
They have
that
a-
too.
Did you have a double?
Yeah,
as
I had
well?
the double IPA too.
I'm
So
excited
we have
for
the,
that.
Yeah, we have the Session IPA and the double IPA, and then we also have Sierra Nevada Hop Hunter, which just came out, which I've had. I don't know if you guys have had that yet. And then we have a 2013 Bourbon County.
I'm excited for
I'm
that.
looking forward to that one. I'm also looking forward to the Evil Genius beer.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course.
You know.
Yeah,
That
and then
goes
we
without
have
saying.
then we have these other beers.
Nice save.
I actually have to say I'm really looking forward to all of what she's having because I was told
Oh,
that
it's so good.
Oh,
there
that's right, you
were
haven't had
bottles
it
that
yet.
were meant for me but never made it back because I couldn't make it to hibernation.
There were talks of it,
Not
and
that
then we
I'm
forgot
bitter
about it.
or anything. I just
Did I not give you a bottle, or did it
No,
just not
it-
make it to him?
No, we never got one because we totally forgot about.
look
the
at
whole
him
conversation.
pass that buck.
I've been trying to remember. That was a very busy day. You know, someone poured beer all over themselves,
Yeah,
and
had to
you
get
know,
a new T-shirt.
Somebody had to give away a T-shirt.
which is how I ended up with this T-shirt.
I actually enjoyed that event.
Oh
It was
no!
actually
Look at
pretty
this
fun.
beer spilling on my shirt right now. No.
That was a fun event.
This beer is
Yeah, I
so
enjoyed it.
pale. Like, look at this. Like, there's there it is.
Very,
it is
very,
crystal
very
clear.
thin.
Yeah.
Bursting with bright citrus, grapefruit, and classic piney West Coast hop character.
That smell is a little.
I know
interesting.
this is what the part that I don't like about session IPAs is that there's to be session in that like 4.5, 5.5 range. It ends up being like so super thin that I want a more full bodied beer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
And I'd personally prefer to have, 4 really good IPAs than be able to have, 7 of these.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
just me.
It's like this beer, like the Hop Hunter. It's really good, and it's got a great aroma. But like, it's also like body wise, like you would expect a little bit more body out of it. Like, but it depends. Like when you go to different places, like we're used to like more malty IPAs, like the Northeastern IPAs that we like 60 Minutes, a very malty IPA. Like Harpoon IPA is very malty, like by comparison to like Stone or Lagunitas or something. So it's like it's totally different. Like even the brewers, like I was doing a work with one of the guys who used to brew for Manayunk, and now he's a rep for Origlio, and he was like, yeah, like I went out to Oregon, and like most of the guys, they're not even putting like crystal malt in their beer. It's just all Pilsner malt or all like pale malt with a little like carafoam, and then it's just hop to shit. Like nobody's caring about like the malt backbone of beers
Right,
anymore. It's just all hop forward.
Yeah, I don't know, to be totally honest, that I'm a fan of this session IPA. It's
Yeah, I certainly wasn't.
I can see why it would
Terribly
do
into it.
well and why they want to mass market it, but it's not my cup of tea or beer.
Well, there are a couple that are good, and the rest of them are like not so good. You know what I mean? Like there aren't. Everybody's trying to do one, and very few people do it like really well.
Well, we had South County when we were recently there. He's got a new Day Rider Session IPA, and that was good. That was
Really?
nice and flavorful. It held up to the hops. It held up it was just a good,
It was nice.
easy drinking, but very flavorful beer.
Somebody
It was
said
really
the
good.
Slow Ride by New Belgium is like supposed to be like the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said that the early reports on that is it's supposed to be really awesome, and I'm gonna get some when I go down to Delaware next. But
Nice. And then this is the
double
Rebel
IPA.
Double IPA.
Yeah, it actually, when I go to smell it, I actually kind of get like maple syrup in a way. I don't know if
There
I'm.
is a caramely, sugary sweetness.
All right,
it's very
good. At least I
malty.
know I'm not
It's
going
much
crazy.
more malty. I can get
Yeah.
that scent as well.
I definitely prefer this one. It's
Oh, yeah,
definitely-
easily.
It's
What's
got
the ABV on the
8.4.
double?
8
8.4?
plus, yeah.
8.4.
And the other one was
the
4.5.
session. So we're almost at.
It's not as hoppy as I would expect though.
No, I don't care for the lingering sweetness. I prefer my beers to clean up, and this one lingers too
Yeah,
much.
it
for
does.
me.
It does linger. It's a little sticky in that
Yeah.
way.
It's amazingly malty for a double IPA.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. Like if you would hand me this, I would not know it's a double IPA. I would not think that at all. It's not nearly as bitter as most of the other ones. It's malty. It's good. It's good. Don't get me wrong. I much prefer it to the session, but I don't know. It's not a double IPA.
The aroma on this beer is pretty nuts. The Hop Hunter.
This one I'm excited.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
got
excited
a
for this one.
big aroma.
Oh, we're already
For
past
some
that round.
reason, the
crack 'em
idea of
open,
Sam
dude.
Adams even doing an IPA just feels weird to me.
Yeah.
Did you
Ooh,
did you see
smell this?
did
Yeah, I
you
know.
see there was an article probably maybe a month or more ago, where the guy had been interviewing Jim Cook, and he had like a fit at a particular bar that wasn't serving
I saw that.
Sam Adams, and went into the like cooler. And the couple things that I took away from the article was, one, that he really detests the whole the way they do these like Curious Traveler, that's all like under the same brand, and they what's the
Twisted Tea.
Twisted Tea, and what's the other cider that they do?
Angry Orchard.
Angry Orchard,
Which
yeah.
he should bitch about that, because that's what's paying his mortgage.
I don't think that guy has a mortgage, let's be honest.
No, but
Seriously?
I would say that's the most profitable business segment in Sam Adams. Like those types
Oh, maybe,
of
but
ciders cost like
he
nothing
started
to
the
make.
company to make beer, and he would prefer that they just made beer. But he's the kind of figurehead for the company at this point. He doesn't make those sort of decisions anymore.
Sure, he
but
wants
the other
to make
part,
money too, though.
But the other part that I thought was like really interesting was where he basically said, and I'm obviously paraphrasing here, and the guy in the article was maybe paraphrasing him a little bit too, where he kind of said, you know what, people really should just like lagers like our Boston Lager. They like this. He kind of implied that IPAs and things like that are like a fad or something. I'm like, 15 years does not a fad make.
No,
Yeah,
not at
that's
all.
true.
I mean,
Yeah.
everybody has their own taste. You can't make one beer that everyone will like. But their Boston Lager is great, but IPAs, they're here to stay. I think that's how everybody gets
And
into,
realistically,
gets into
like
craft beer.
the IPA category is so broad. There's so much inside of there. I mean, we just had 2 different, very, very different IPAs
Oh, yeah.
from
Here's
his
gonna be
company.
a-
for sure.
Exactly.
And we're about to have a third one, and then there's black IPAs, and there's farmhouse IPAs. There's so many different
Red
varieties in there.
IPAs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Evil
I just had.
IPAs.
Yep.
If you see Reviver
back.
by Star Hill, that red IPA is kick-ass.
Yeah, I
I
have
had that
it.
at the fridge today. That is delicious.
Reviver by Star Hill. I remember that.
Yeah, like Imperial Reds are like making hoppy reds and like Imperial
Mm-hmm.
Ambers and like Nugget Nectar, like that's kind of stuff. It's making a comeback.
Yeah.
This beer's good though. It tastes better out of the bottle.
This tastes great.
That's what we're gonna do. We'll introduce the beer and then we'll just play.
Yeah,
Luke's
just let
thing.
Luke
Beer's
go.
good though. This is good.
This
It tastes
is
better out of the
great.
bottle than it did on draft. I'll be honest with you.
Really.
That can be your little sound clip anytime you're not sure how to describe a beer.
This tastes
Just
good.
Luke going, this tastes
Yes, great suggestion.
It's funny because drinking this after the 2 Sam Adams IPAs, this is definitely. I would prefer
It's
this.
it's what it should taste like,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Who am I to argue with Jim Cook?
Yeah, it's a shame because Sam Adams does make some good beers, and it's obviously a company that
They're
cares about beer, but
Except for that cherry wheat.
yeah, exactly.
You know,
That was
I
the
actually-
only.
great. A lot of people love
You know
that.
what?
though.
I
love
10
cherry
years
wheat.
ago, I could not get enough of that stuff.
Really? See,
I
that was
loved
always
it.
the one that
I
was
don't
like
like it
left.
anymore.
Like my dad would get like the Sam Adams like winter variety pack, and nobody in my
Nobody
family
wanted
like
it.
wanted the cherry wheat.
No.
So like I'd go to like steal beer, and it would just be like I was like, oh, there's all this fucking cherry wheat here. You know?
See, I like cherry wheat. I actually really like it. I think that was probably the first craft beer, at least I can remember, that
No.
that I liked.
I was probably drinking. I started drinking like Corona and blah.
Yeah.
The craft beer that really turned me was Harpoon's IPA.
Nice.
I love that beer, and to this day, it's still one of my favorite IPAs.
Mine was Hop Devil.
Magic Hat number 9.
Good beer. Very good beer.
Our
I feel
grandfather
like we're
likes
talking
that
about
beer.
when we lost our virginity.
Well, kind of.
That wasn't what we were talking about?
Oh man.
There was a bar at Temple called the Draft Horse, and they had
Yeah.
cherry wheat on draft. And I would always go in and get that. Not that I was there a lot. I was studying. Don't worry. But I would go in if there was like a party or something. I would go up. My friends had Miller Lite or Coors Light. I wanted cherry wheat because it was light enough that it reminded me of those, but far enough away with flavor that I enjoyed drinking it instead of saying just get me drunk.
Yeah, I see it on tap a lot. Like it sells.
I
Like,
I like it on tap.
I haven't had it in a long time. Maybe I should give it another shot.
I haven't had it in a long time either, but I sort of remember that it tasted more like real cherries and not fake cherries, and I feel like that's why I liked it. Of course, I haven't had it in a
See,
while.
I
so-
hate cherry, so I don't think I would ever
Well,
like it.
then
Well,
there you go.
Leave it to the Irish.
Now, do you like Man Elf?
Yeah, it tastes great. no.
But
Honestly,
that can be very cherry forward too.
Yeah.
Some years.
I find Mad Elf can be very.
alcohol forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it also.
I mean, it is
varies.
10.5 or 11%.
It's up
Yeah.
there. But
So,
I think.
I don't know if I've ever drank a whole bottle of that on its own. I've had like samples of it because it's a big beer, and yeah. But that is
No,
very
it's
cherry
good.
forward. But I'm just not a huge cherry fan, so. But it tastes great.
Respect.
it tastes.
Respect.
Hey, you know what you like.
This is good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, Luke, what do you think of this beer?
It's good.
That's worse than just smooth.
This is my this is how I like my IPAs though. I do not like malty IPAs. I
Yeah.
like hop forward IPAs.
That's the way it should be.
Well, I think that's kind of the point.
I want the
like,
aroma to
you
be
know.
like you're opening that hop bag out of the cooler. I want to taste it. I don't want that sweetness in the end, but that's just my preference. Some people like the more malt forward ones.
Well, it's hard. Like when you make double IPAs, like to get up there, like alcohol wise, like you
You've
need.
got to have.
We're actually going to be.
Don't open that yet.
I like how he just
We're actually going to be
stopped everything.
reformulating. We're changing the hop additions on our Evil IPA, so we're pretty excited about that actually. So, and then we're talking about doing a Galaxy IPA for Philly Beer Week.
Oh, come on.
Nice.
Yeah. So, pretty excited about that.
You know, I have to, going back to what Steph said earlier, you guys have a unique brand that you have, whether it's the bottle or you guys as characters, as she put it. But with the bottle and the flavors and the beer,
And you guys definitely have faces for radio.
Yeah.
whenever
we're
I
in
go
good company.
Exactly.
Touche. I was just getting on the backhanded comment bandwagon.
Whenever I go into a bottle shop or go to Acme that now sells beer, I always look for Evil Genius. And Noelle, if she were here, could testify that the other night we walked in, we were just going to grab a couple of things, and they have the beer section set up that you walk in the main entrance and boom, right there's the beer. You can see it before you even enter the store. And right off the bat, not even 2 seconds after looking at it, I realized 1, 2, 3 Evil Genius. And I went over and I was going to buy it, and I realized, no, I want to save my Evil Genius tastings
Cherry.
for tonight. Like, you can't even
He
say
lost
cherry.
his Evil Genius cherry a
Long
long time
ago.
ago.
This is true.
It was hard and rough.
He's got no innocence left.
Yeah,
Oh man.
about that. I think we should play a game.
Me too.
Oh, we have a game?
You want to play a game?
Somebody brought a game? I'm down. Let's play a game.
Oh, I just remembered what game we're playing.
Yeah.
Bring it.
Yeah, which makes... wow, she's taking the scarf off and everything for this very special edition
the
of Happy
scarf
Fun Time
comes
Games.
off.
The scarf is coming off. Insert clever intro here. Okay, so today we returning to a game that we haven't played in 13 episodes.
This is a game that we only bring out for special people.
This is a game we
Nice.
bring out. This 13 episodes ago.
Are you
we
sure
were
you
at
want to play it
Weyerbacher.
tonight?
Well,
This is
yeah.
a mistake?
Yeah,
We'll see.
I got my files mixed up, and I'm just kind of going with it.
Great.
In this password-style game entitled "What's in My Glass," you guys will be playing in teams.
Okay.
In teams. Ooh. Yes, and you will be trying to get your teammate to guess the name of a beer. You'll have 30 seconds to do it, and in an astoundingly clever twist in the scoring system, you will receive points for a correct answer equal to the number of seconds left on the clock. Everybody got that?
Oh wow. Yeah. That's
Okay.
cool.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you guys know like password pyramid, like
Yeah,
you'll
yeah,
have
yeah.
a beer and you got to say blah 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 blah. So on Team Beer Busters is Mr. Smooth himself.
Hey, I like that
Dan,
name.
the voice baker, and the reigning
Voice.
queen of brewology, Steph the Brewster Hefner. Yeah,
The voice and the Brewster.
that's
That's
right.
In the morning.
On the opposing side of the if they're in the morning, over here is the afternoon delight. The team Evil Genius. With Trevor,
Star rockets in flight.
the Irishman Hayward. Sorry, it's the best nickname I could come up
Afternoon
with.
delight.
Trevor, the Irishman.
I just gave it to you like 20 minutes ago. It's International Trevor.
International. I totally forgot.
Mr.
But we
International.
also have Luke When in Rome Bowen.
Nice. I'll never think of Rome the same way again.
I think you're sitting in front of it, aren't you?
It is right there.
Unbelievable.
Okay, I do have things to hand out to you guys,
That's
though.
funny.
So this might not make good for good radio. This one is yours. You guys can't look at each other's. That's yours. These are the beer names that you have to get the other person to guess, and that is Steph's. And so we will begin. This is complicated,
Oh my God!
and I've had a few beers, so I may totally fuck this up. Disclaimer. But we will begin as it has always been and shall forever be.
Great.
To my left, I've even got a stopwatch timer app on my phone.
All right.
Dude, I'm like so prepared for this. For Dan, who is going to be giving clues to Steph to get her to guess the name of the
Oh,
beer.
God.
And you will begin right about now.
All right, who's the guy at Christmas that delivers presents?
Santa.
What do you poop out of?
What? Wait.
What do you poop out of?
My ass.
Another word
Butt.
for ass. Okay, so
Santa's butt.
thank you.
Yay! Steph gets
wow.
it correct, and with 19 seconds left on the pot. With 19 seconds left on the clock.
That was pretty
means,
easy.
19 points for Team
I wish mine was that easy.
Beer Busters. And moving on to Afternoon Delight. Trevor is going to be giving clues to Luke to guess the name of this beer right here, and you will begin now.
Stevie Wonder is
Blind.
Oh.
Pig.
All right, okay. 22 seconds left on the clock there for a big
Jackal. It's a jackal.
22 points. Yes,
Jackal.
that was Blind Pig, and now they get a little bit harder. I hope.
Yeah, this is
A little bit harder.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. What does it say that you gave me and Trevor the easy ones?
It was random.
Right. That's why it says my name.
Yeah, that's why it says my name on it. Really, really random.
It was random before I typed the names. There's a whole dude. It's a whole. You wouldn't understand. It's a whole algorithm. There was
I don't
math.
understand anything
Like,
in your head.
it was-
You're kind of like Luke in that way. I don't want to know what's going on in your brain.
Quadratic equations were involved. Moving on.
mine's just girls and
Horsewomen.
Girls and breweries, remember?
girls and breweries.
Girls and breweries. Yep. Bitches love pumpkin. Steph. It is now your turn to get Dan to guess the name of your beer.
Okay.
Sorry, Steph.
And you
Oh,
will
shit.
begin right about now.
3 words. First word. When you touch something, it is.
Touchable.
Okay. Second word. Power plants.
Nuclear?
Simpsons. Yes.
Nuclear.
Third word. Animal. Antarctica. Really cute.
Penguin?
Yes.
Nuclear penguin.
First word.
Feeling nuclear. Feeling?
It is. Oh,
Feel
when you touch
feels.
something, it is.
Kinetic?
Fuck.
Kinesthetic?
I don't know. This is a hard word.
Don't look at me. I'm not helping.
Tactile?
Yes.
Tactile nuclear penguin?
Close.
Tactical nuclear penguin.
Wow.
at the buzzer!
Wow. Damn, that is really good.
Wow.
All right. Well, since you got it at the very last
Come
second,
on, give us 1 point.
I will award you 1 point.
We
for
lost
that.
already.
I will award you 1 point. Okay.
We cannot win this game. It's impossible.
So,
That's still really
shit.
good, though.
that's true. You can't win.
That's really
But
amazing.
Wow.
just for the fun of it, it is now Luke's turn to clue in Trevor, and you will begin right about now.
It's 3 words. The opposite of odd is
Normal.
numerically. The opposite,
Even.
The opposite of less is
More.
another. Allah's counterpart is
Allah.
Allah.
God. The devil.
His son is
Jesus. Even. What was the
less is less.
even more Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, with 2 seconds left on the clock. Even more
man.
genius.
Genius.
Jesus.
I've never even heard of this beer. Even more Jesus.
Jesus motherfucking Christ.
You've
Even-
never heard of it?
No.
No, okay, well, I actually, no, they won, by the way.
No
Yeah.
shit.
Evil
Great,
Genius.
thanks.
Only by 4 points. though.
24 to 20. But yeah, Santa's Butt is an English porter by Ridgeway Brewing Company.
Didn't I
Blind
buy
Pig-
that for you for Christmas
No, you
one
bought
year?
it for me for Christmas.
Oh.
last
I think
year.
I got a lump of coal.
Yeah, I got you Santa's butt and you lump of coal.
Yes.
That's right.
Just so we're clear, the opposite of odd is also normal.
See, that's what I would have gone with, too.
Sort of a left brain, right brain.
It's how we think differently.
I'm just fucking weird. So I'm like, oh yeah, yep.
Blind Pig is an American IPA by Russian River.
Of course.
Of course. Tactical Nuclear Penguin is a 32% Imperial Stout by Brewdog over in Scotland.
Is that the one that was
Wow.
actually encased in a dead animal?
No.
No, but that was the brewery.
But it's the same. It's the same brewery.
I'm sorry,
and
what?
To answer your
we
question,
talked about that on the show. Pay
we
attention.
did. Listen.
It was in like episode 2, I think.
Yeah, it was a long time
Put it
ago.
in like a squirrel.
Wayne's first episode. All right.
Yeah, that was my first episode. Even More Jesus is a 12% Imperial Stout by Evil Twin Brewing Company.
Oh, yeah.
Those
Yeah,
bastards.
there you go.
No comment.
All right, so that was less of a train wreck than I was afraid it would be.
great.
So,
It's great.
there you
I
go
think
for
it
that.
went well.
Yeah, it's great.
That's
Great.
pretty good. It's great.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I can drink it with my mouth.
So now that we lost, and I'm sorry, Steph.
No, your beers. No, your beers. In our last episode of Beer Busters, I discussed hangovers. what causes them, how to prevent them, and how to alleviate the symptoms. Since then, I found some additional interesting information. So we'll call this The Hangover
Part 2.
Part 2.
Which is the
wait,
same
is
movie
this-
as Hangover
Yeah,
Part
is this
1.
going to be a
No.
three-part
Are you
series?
just gonna
No.
take out some words from last week's one and just put in different bits?
Nope.
The best review of Hangover 2 I saw was, if you don't want spoilers, don't see Hangover 1.
It's the same movie.
Well, pretty much. According to a 2004 study, prickly pear extract reduces symptoms of too much drinking. That's right. Prickly pear cactus helps prevent hangover symptoms, according to a study reported in the Archives of International Medicine led by Dr. Jeff Weiss of the Tulane Health Sciences Center in New Orleans. The cactus grows wild and abundant in desert climates such as Mexico, Arizona, New Mexico, and Southern California.
Maybe that's why Baloo liked it.
Come on.
You know what I'm talking about.
It all makes sense now.
Yep.
Prickly pear cactus juice has been used medicinally for hundreds of years in Latin folk medicine and by southwestern Native American cultures for treating diabetes because of the high levels of insoluble fibers, which slows the rate at which your body absorbs sugar.
Oh, wow.
Doesn't fiber help you poop?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
And of course, they would need to do that in New Orleans. All you do is
But how
drink
did
down there.
does
But every time you fart, you add 85 seconds to your life.
you do?
I'm
No way.
immortal.
If slowing your absorption rate of sugar, is that correlate to its alleviating hangover symptoms? Is there? I'm sorry, I got ahead of you. I apologize.
Prickly pear is also used for high cholesterol, obesity, colitis, diarrhea, and to fight viral infections, according to WebMD. So maybe you
have-
should tell your friends
I have all of those
with
things.
kids.
I know.
Prickly pear extract is available in some health supplement stores and online. Some homebrewers use prickly pear in making mead and even beer. Unlike remedies such as raw egg concoctions used to relieve a hangover, prickly pear extract, when taken hours in advance, can alleviate symptoms such as dry mouth and nausea. Unfortunately, it does not ease other woes such as headaches and dizziness.
It sucks. So you have to plan for your hangover in advance?
Yep. The Muy Bueno cookbook.
I often find that not planning is what leads to hangovers in
Yeah.
the first place.
Exactly. The Muy Bueno cookbook website offers a recipe to soothe the worst of your hangover symptoms. Now, this they say you can take afterwards. The prickly pear cactus juice smoothie is made of prickly pear cactus, cucumber, lime, water, and ice blended together. Apparently, drinking this smoothie first thing in the morning will boost your metabolism, flush toxins, and increase your insoluble fiber intake while replacing the crucial hydration you lost when you consumed alcohol. According to the Tulane Health Study Center, drinking prickly pear cactus juice before you drink alcohol cuts your risk of hangover in half and fights nausea, dry mouth, and loss of appetite after drinking. Perhaps Evil Genius could brew a prickly pear beer.
Yeah. I don't lose my appetite.
I was going to
after
say,
drinking.
people lose appetite after
Yeah.
drinking?
Well,
I could
when
usually
I
go for
drink,
pizza.
I get
I
really
was gonna
hungry.
say, like-
When I drink a lot, I don't want to eat
Yeah.
anything.
Well, you know what? You're right, because after St. Boniface, I pushed bacon away.
You did.
You pushed a lot of
away.
things
You are dead
in
to
a
me.
lot of places.
That's what he said to bacon.
Yeah.
But I'm never hungry like the next morning, like on a bad hangover. I don't
Yeah.
even want to eat.
No.
So
You have to
maybe that's what it
force
refers to.
yourself.
Depends. Yeah, if it's a really tense.
Now, as we talked about last episode, you kind of got to force yourself to get up, force yourself to eat, force yourself to. They
Take
even,
an Advil.
They
Yep.
even
What I-
recommended exercising.
what I
Yeah,
find works really
exercising
well.
kicks
Yeah, they can go
hangovers.
fuck themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. No
I
way.
find that waking up early in the morning in a cloud of self-loathing and regret and pondering my existence and whether it's worth anything for about 20 minutes and then falling back asleep, and then I'm fine when I wake up the next time.
You know that sense of like, because it's that the downer aspect to a hangover where you feel like
yeah,
shit?
there's like a
And you kind of described it pretty
Yeah.
well there, where self-loathing, all that. We have a term for that in Ireland. It's called the fear, and the fear follows you around. It doesn't matter where you go; it'll follow you, and it's called that's
The
what
fear.
is
The
it?
fear.
Yep.
there's actually
And it comes
though-
out because it does. It comes on in waves. Like it's not all, but you're like, oh my god, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah. Well, there is though, like there is actually a chemical like. Like dopamine
Imbalance,
makes you
yeah,
happy
yeah.
or whatever. Like having a hangover actually increases like negative hormones that makes you feel
Well,
like I want to kill myself.
Isn't it
world
the
sucks,
duality
whatever.
of life that you have the pleasure, you have
Yeah.
to have the equal amount of pain the next day?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
It's a
spoke
balance.
Allah.
pleasure and pain.
Did you say so spoke Allah?
I like pleasure.
Opposite of
like
Jesus,
with-
apparently.
On that note,
Beer.
Yeah, let's.
Now, Luke, you can open them.
The main attraction.
I was going to say, we've
if
had a lot
you
of beer
will.
so far, and none of it has been Evil Genius beer.
It's because you have to save. You have to save it for the second part.
Save
It's
the
actually cool.
best.
Oh,
last.
wow, man.
Wow.
Reflexes like a fox.
Wow, that was
Good job, International Trevor.
That's right.
that
You
was
saved
impressive.
the day.
Secret
International
agent, man. Secret.
So do you have the power of earth or love?
Actually, I got more.
I got it all, man.
Got it all.
This is Hop King, year 2 Hop King. We did it for the first time last year. I think we showed it to you guys.
Yes.
So this is going to be 8.1% with Warrior, Citra, Simcoe, and Amarillo hops. You do get some sweetness too, because you have to have some malt that you add to this to make it an imperial. So, but it's still reasonably pale. Like it's not like super dark. But you get some grapefruit and some citrus, some piney notes. A little bit of sweetness from the malt, but not much. But there is a little bit of malt character. And then it finishes pretty clean and dry. Ale yeast, 001 white labs.
It hides the alcohol maybe too well.
It does, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think the only indication is that there is that maltiness there, and you're kind of like, if it's an IPA,
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's-
this is a beer.
There's got to be something.
Wow.
But this is really good. Yeah, it's good.
It's good.
It's good.
It's sweet, but it doesn't linger.
It doesn't linger.
That's
and
why I
I was
like
gonna say,
it.
like it's almost like there's this sort of like back and forth, like sweet, bitter, sweet, bitter, sweet, bitter, sweet, bitter, and then it kind of cleans up.
About
And it's-
95.
That's our goal with, and that's how I like my IPAs as well. Is that like very clean, crisp finish, like done.
Yeah.
Because those ones that linger end up meaning that I can't drink several of them.
Exactly.
Which is also my goal in life.
This has some really nice tropical notes too. What hops did you use?
Simcoe, Citra, and Amarillo, and then we use some and Simcoe and Warrior for bittering, and then Simcoe, Citra, Amarillo, both in late edition hops, Whirlpool, and dry hop.
I have to say I like it this time better than last time.
Yep.
It's
we
good.
Yeah, we made very small adjustments, but not much. But we're really happy with how it kind of came out this year.
It's still available, and even probably maybe there might be some left 3 weeks from now. So go take a look for it. But yeah, it's getting out there and it's running low, but it's still tasty.
This was one of the ones at Acme, South Philly. Just saying.
There you go.
Where
Yeah.
you are currently right now, also.
There we
No,
are.
I finished 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Shit.
I'm on my way home now.
No, but there's a lot. There is like a lot going on
And you
in
can
this
you can
beer.
pick up a 6-pack of this and use it to comfort yourself in this time of national mourning, as we lament the passing of the Queen Mom, Her Majesty Elizabeth II.
This is a Tinder page.
Yep.
I'm yelling Tinder.
I'm sorry. We were almost having like a very serious
That's awesome.
beer conversation there.
It's
Have you
going
ever had a
down.
serious beer conversation?
Not for long.
So, Luke, what do you think of this beer?
It's good. I like it very much.
Very much.
It's tasty.
I do. Actually, you get, as it gets a little warmer, you get a little bit of that funky cat pissy Simcoe in the back.
You
there.
love your cat
I love
piss.
it. I love when you get
Love
that
it.
dankness, that weird.
Well, that's like one of the signatures of that hop.
Yeah.
It does taste like a cat pissed on your weed. Like that's
Yeah.
really, you know,
Yeah.
like that's really how it is. But it's a good hop, and we're lucky to have a lot of it, so we can play with it as much as we want.
There is a great little audio clip there, right there.
Next
Oh.
beer.
Next beer.
Please.
All right. So the next beer is I'll Have What She's Having.
Bum, ba, da,
Or
bum.
Luke was texting me yesterday because at a bar, and it auto-corrected to y'all having what she's having. I'm like, we have a southern version now.
Nice.
That could be
Nice.
the bourbon barrel aged
Yep.
Y'all, I like
I
it.
have been looking forward to this beer since Brewphoria.
because we were bragging about it.
Oh, it's Hop King again. Fuck.
He's just open the
I'll
wrong
have some of
bottle.
that.
It will
Yeah,
get
sure, why
drank.
not?
I promise.
All right, here we go. We're opening.
Get my drink on.
Get your drink on.
Yeah.
Get drank. So you said.
Drunk, drank, drinked.
Get drank.
Yeah, it's a 9.4% Imperial Stout with chocolate and hazelnut. It tastes like those like Ferrero Rocher like chocolates in the gold wrappers. Yeah, so it kind of tastes like that.
Yes. You didn't describe it like that.
Yeah, I actually did.
Oh.
Someone had been drinking that day. In fact, that's the exact thing that I said to you.
Did you really?
This smells amazing.
Yeah, it's a big one. And it's a big beer, but it's very tasty and well worth the wait.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, Steph and I first had this beer at Hibernation, where
Whoa.
an
Oh my
infamous event occurred that Steph will never live down.
You mean the time she spilled beer?
I wasn't
on your
going to
shirt?
mention it. I was trying to be classy. But
Have you seen this? Have you listened to the podcast?
I have seen and listened to this
Good,
podcast.
good.
Why would you start now, though?
Wait, start listening or start
No,
being
start
classy?
being classy. I don't know. I thought I'd try something different. It doesn't. I don't know. It feels a little weird, so I'm going to stop. But
Yeah.
no, this is an awesome beer.
Thank you very much.
I don't know if I like this better or Purple Monkey dishwasher.
I like this better. I'm going to say it right now.
Ooh, that's
it's
a
it's
tough
a
call.
hard tie
I'm
for
putting
me.
it down there.
The thing is, you wouldn't be able to drink many of these, and not that you're going to drink, 10 chocolate peanut butter porters, but it's lighter bodied. It's obviously lower in alcohol. You could have 2 or 3 of them. With this 9.4, I guess you could
Are
have
you
2 or
trying
3
to?
of them.
Bring
You're
on
trying to
10
sway
of
my
them.
answer?
No, I'm just saying that, I always like to have a few beers.
No. Yeah.
Remember where I'm from, and so I like the idea of something I can have several of. So doesn't mean I won't do it with this. I'll need to take advice from your hangover cure.
Yeah.
I'll get that
You'll
prickly
need a
pear
lot
from
of
the big
prickly
pawpaw.
pear.
I would have 10 of these.
I did a car bomb with one of these.
He
And
did.
then you'll
I have
spill
a
beer
video
on
of him
yourself.
doing a car bomb with one of these.
No shit.
Really?
That was such a bad
Wow.
decision.
Yeah.
Did it taste good?
Oh,
Though?
it was still
I can imagine.
unbelievably good.
I can
Steph,
imagine.
do you have any Baileys?
No.
To the store.
I don't think I have. We have vodka. We have Osbach.
You probably have Jaeger somewhere
Brandy.
floating around.
Oh,
too.
of course I have brandy. I'm a German. I have to have brandy.
Jaeger.
Jaeger.
I mean,
Yeah, I think you mean Jaeger. I'm a German. Of course I have brandy. What?
Yeah, I was wondering where that was going.
it's this beer. You put drugs in it.
You put drugs in
Yeah,
this.
it's called alcohol.
Yeah.
It is technically a drug.
So anyway, but yeah, this it was a fun beer that we did. We just decided to do something kind of different.
Well, we've been talking ever since we have been making one of the first chocolate beers that we made was the Pure Evil chocolate stout, and then after that the next one was the chocolate pumpkin porter.
Oh, the trick or treat.
Yes, which I actually only had last week because we had a 6 of it, so I brought it to the Stouts Beer Festival. And it's funny, I was kind of thinking, are people going to really want to drink this? It's it's February now,
Yes.
and it was still February whatever. It was we poured more of that than the other beer that we brought with us, which was our our Imperial IPA, which it's like the fresher beer technically, but people were going nuts over it.
Man, that trick or treat is.
But we did that, and then we're looking at it going, okay, we've been doing a lot of different chocolate beers. We kind of have a process down for that. What else would you mix in there? And my niece and nephews adore Nutella, and I'm like, hazelnut. This obviously tastes more on the Ferrero Rocher, which are also awesome. But that's kind of what that thought process came from. So.
It's
What
a
else? What
delicious
other
beer.
thoughts do we have in terms of other?
Cherry and we had fruit because you could do
Wait,
chocolate
cherry?
The man who hates cherry wheat wants to add
No,
cherry.
but not
No,
but-
I never said that.
No, no. But
There's a reason why we didn't make that.
No, but there's chocolate. There's chocolate. There's coffee. There's you
What about raspberry? A chocolate raspberry
That would be
coffee
awesome.
stout.
Yeah,
Only
I could
one
dig
man
that.
would dare give me the raspberry. Lone Star? Nobody? Really?
Nope.
Sorry.
Really?
Nope.
There's your name of the beer. Come on. Spaceballs? Nobody?
Bum, bum,
Nobody?
ba-dum.
Come on.
Oh, I've seen Spaceballs, but I don't remember that.
You're the last person I expected to know what it was.
That's actually a good idea.
I've
Chocolate
seen that
raspberry
movie.
Coffee stout.
Let's
It's
do
actually a
it.
great fucking idea.
Chocolate raspberry coffee stout. 3 of the best things on
And
the
a
face.
firkin
Well,
with
4.
Chipotle.
I did because we have the
We can
Randall
write
now.
Chipotle's with raspberry, no.
Yeah.
Maybe habaneros would be better with raspberry.
Yeah,
or
okay.
no, jalapenos.
Jalapenos, yeah.
I did because we have the Randall now. I actually did raspberries with our IPA, the Evil IPA.
Whoa.
Which I wasn't sure how that. I was like, I don't know if this will work, but I was like, I'm just gonna try because that's what's kind of nice about the Randall is we can try things, and we're not making a massive batch of beer. It's if it doesn't work, I can always unplug it basically.
Yeah.
It was actually really good. It actually paired really well with the hops. And then the raspberries at the end were delicious to eat.
Nice.
They're infused with beer.
You had a Randall at hibernation, and if I remember correctly,
Banana.
A banana.
bananas
yeah.
with Purple Monkey dishwasher.
That's right. Yeah.
What?
That was good. Oh yeah,
It
you
was
missed that
amazing.
too, Dan. Sorry.
Did I have the banana chips that day, or was
No,
it the
you had
fresh
the
banana?
No, it was the
bananas,
fresh
'cause you said you
bananas
had tried
because
the
I
chips.
I
The
inquired
chips
about that.
didn't work so well. So
That must have been an
Yeah.
early in the day question because I
was.
remember that conversation.
That was before we spent like 2 hours just standing at the Evil Genius stand because
I
there were
think
too many people.
did we stand there for like 3 hours?
Well, after the VIP session was over, we're
I
like,
kind
we're
of
just gonna hang
remember
out here.
just standing behind Trevor most of the day and eating those insanely
pretzels.
hot pretzels.
they were ripe. The pizza one was really good.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Actually
The pretzels
tasted
over
like a
there.
slice of cheese pizza.
Those are not the
Yeah,
ones
you
I
would have
had.
enjoyed this.
Are you doing this anywhere else?
Did you get a car yet?
Yeah. Wait, what? Who? What? Hold on a second. How'd you hear about a car?
Remember, I'm everywhere. That's 8 places now.
Yes,
He
I have a 2015 Mazda 3.
For those of you keeping score at home, Trevor is now in 8 different locations simultaneously
International Trevor.
and 3 continents.
All right, shall we do?
Yeah, let's
last
open
beer.
up that last one.
All right, so last beer is the 2013 Goose Island Bourbon County,
Nice.
which even though people from Anheuser-Busch own it, it's still the
Hey,
beer geeks are like fuck
it's
Goose
no-
Island except
you know
for
what?
fucking Bourbon County
Yeah.
though.
You know what?
whatever.
It's no pumpkin peach ale. That's all I know.
It's not. It's
No,
not.
dude, I literally had like our Bud we have one Bud wholesaler, and like the dudes were like, "Hey, man, like sorry about that commercial." I'm totally serious. I was like, "Dude, what are you apologizing for? I don't give a shit."
Like you're not
You
in
know
the
what?
marketing
You didn't
department,
make it.
right?
The thing about that commercial, though, that I think is actually works in a lot of ways is that, and also doesn't work on the other side of things, is that for people who drink, Budweiser, who clearly are unlikely to be drinking craft beer, I don't know that it really says much to them other than being a marketing piece. But also to people like us who clearly don't drink Budweiser, we prefer craft beer, we were never going to drink Budweiser regardless of that commercial. So on that way, it's kind of a wash. But at the same time, I also feel like it's almost like throwing down a gauntlet, as in like, oh, we can market our way past your craft beer stuff and pretend that things are stuff that they're not.
Yeah, except that then 10 minutes later, I saw a Goose Island commercial, and I love Goose Island. This beer, and
Do you want a little bit more?
Nah, I'm all right.
I think Goose Island makes great beers.
I'm driving.
That was a big pour, dude.
I thought the bottle was almost empty. So
Yes.
I had plenty.
Do you want a little bit more?
I had plenty before I came over here. Trust me.
Yeah, I'm good.
Sorry, you were
But no, I saw a good. So there's that. Obviously, the commercial.
Dude, it's a month later and we're still talking about it. It was fucking genius.
No, but you
It
know
was.
I'm
No,
just
it was
saying.
great.
No, there's
it
that.
was
But
great.
you know what's been weird though? I thought that after, because the way after that whole thing happened, and they interviewed one of the executives, and they said, "Oh, pumpkin peach ale was just like some ridiculous thing that we came up with." Obviously, being completely clueless to the fact that one of the companies they had owned
has a pumpkin.
has a pumpkin peach ale. Is that commercial still airs? Like they didn't change it, then go, oh shit, we probably should have picked anything
They
else.
don't
Like
care.
that's text over the thing. Like you could have changed that, but like it keeps popping up on Hulu when I'm watching videos.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this beer is actually mellowed pretty nicely.
I like bourbon, like barrel aged beers after like they've sat for a while and mellowed out.
Yeah, because they're too hot when they're fresh. At least for me,
It still tastes like a high alcohol beer.
It does.
But at that percentage, I don't think you're ever going to be able to hide that.
Wow.
This is the beer I gave you bitches, by the way.
Yeah.
I see why it's still in the back of my fridge.
Oh, you didn't drink it yet?
Nope.
I drank mine.
I thought I did.
You
and
drank yours that night.
I thought I did, and then I found mine the other day.
Road soda.
Session beer.
Session beer.
yeah, this is definitely not session
Wow.
beer.
No.
18%, right?
14.
14.2.
something.
Well, it's funny because that tastes stronger than a glass of wine, which will be 14%. What's
Yeah.
up with that?
Well, it's just way more.
I think it's that bourbon
What's up with that?
flavor.
He also
That
does
was like
Bill
a gotcha
Cosby.
question.
Yes.
So how do you explain that?
WTF.
What do you have to say to your constituents?
Senator, I plead the fifth.
Oh, that's heavy.
She's so
Very thick.
Is there something wrong with gravity
Thick
in the
and
future?
smooth.
No, this is a good beer, but I can't do like a lot of it. You know what I mean? Like I could only do like 8
Yeah.
ounces, 10 ounces at a time. Like I couldn't like I was with one of the guys from one of our distributors, saw it like in a beer holster, like a D, and bought like a whole case for like $150.
Wow.
And he was just like, "Oh yeah, dude, just crush it this weekend." It's like, wow, man, like you gotta have a fucking.
No
stomach
one
for this.
crushed one of these cases in a weekend.
That's
Not
what
a
he's.
chance.
No way.
Unless you have 50 close Bourbon County loving friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, but these are like good beers. They really are. I would just, for me, I'm not like a huge like bourbon barrel aged like person. Like I like things in barrels, but like I was never a bourbon fan. Like I don't really do a lot of bourbon like in my personal life. So
As opposed to when you drink bourbon in your professional life, right?
I don't drink bourbon.
It's
I
part of
drink,
your stage persona.
No, I don't drink bourbon. Like I drink like Irish whiskey or like less peaty scotches. Like I'm not a bourbon drinker.
I've never liked bourbon, but I actually don't mind bourbon barrel aged beers, surprisingly. But I actually quite like this compared to like I've had other ones that have been barrel aged. I'm like I don't like this at all. Whereas it's actually appropriate to call this very smooth.
Hey.
That I feel like the age to it actually really it's compared to like I feel like some of the other beers that maybe are fresher out of the barrels are a little more raw and a little bit more. I'm struggling to come up with the correct adjectives to use.
Well, it's like 120. Like I can't do 120 when it's like super fresh. Like
Yeah.
that needs to age for a little while.
Well, I don't think any beer that's been infused with like a bourbon or like spirits in general, any kind of barrel aging, after it comes out of the barrel, I think it still needs to sit. Like you can't just drink it. Like it just needs time for those flavors to sort of the edge to be worn down a
You're
little bit.
exactly right, and people
Yeah.
just try to push that out. They're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, just right out of the barrel," and it's
Yeah,
like,
it's like, no, it's not good.
no, but it becomes like this is an entirely different beer.
Yeah.
Because like I have some like I bought a couple 4-packs, and I had this when it was fresh. I had this when it was like a year old, and now I've had it now, and it's totally
It is
become
totally
a
different.
completely
Yeah.
different beer.
And when you drink it straight out of the barrel, it's kind of like I could just drink some bourbon. And
Yeah.
it'd be the same
might
thing.
as well.
Like because it just overpowers everything else.
We really want to do, and we've had multiple requests for this, is bourbon barreled Purple Monkey dishwasher.
Oh.
I think that would be good.
Yeah.
That would be good. And I'll have what she's having. I think would do.
Oh,
do
no
well as
doubt.
well. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want the banana version of Purple Monkey first.
Barrel
You can
aged.
put that in a barrel with banana. You
With
can put
bananas.
bananas in a barrel.
Yeah, we absolutely could. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of banana. You would have
We
to
need to
have
put a lot of bananas
lot
there.
of banana.
Bananas.
It's a good
Although
thing they're like
it's-
70
Come,
cents
Mr.
now.
Tallyman, tally me banana.
It's interesting though
They
because
like come and
with the
you-
Purple Monkey dishwasher, the banana comes through at the very end because there's obviously the chocolate and peanut butter are very strong flavors on their own. So the banana doesn't overpower them. It comes towards the back, so you'd almost taste and go, "Where's the banana? Oh, there it is." But I'll put like literally one banana in the Randall and pour a half barrel, and even at the end of the half barrel, you're still getting that banana note.
Wow.
So I don't know that you would need to use a lot of bananas.
But literally, like you're pouring it right after it literally runs through an
Yeah, but a
infuser.
whole half barrel later, one banana, still getting the flavor. Think about it that way.
Yeah, but you would still need one. It's a totally different type of infusion.
I don't know.
When it sits on something, like it's just like with hops. Like when a beer sits on hops, like it absorbs less of the aroma and flavor than if it's literally run through like the second
like a
before
sort
it's
of-
served.
yeah.
Yeah, like it literally sits there and like right before you serve it in the vessel to the person, it
No,
gets
but you
one
wear
last
that. You wear
infusion.
those flavors out, like even with hops or anything. Like when I did the raspberries that time on the Randall. Like after we got about halfway through that half keg,
more
I
of like
turned
a-
it off
a
because
change over
you
time,
weren't
yeah.
getting the raspberry anymore. Like it had pulled all the flavor it was going to pull out of that. Whereas the banana actually lasts for almost a whole half barrel. which
Well,
is
there
pretty
are some
different.
things like the grapefruit lasts. Like you can get like.
Well, I think anything with a more potent flavor.
Yeah, we've
probably
done
would,
grapefruit and Hop King and like all these other things, and like you can get through a big keg, and like by the end of the keg, the grapefruit is still fucking dialed in. You know?
So you guys have some promotional events coming up.
Yeah, we have some really good ones. On April 17th, we'll be at Blind Hartman's Tavern to do a 5-beer tap takeover. I'll be
Nice.
hanging out from 8 to 10, so come on out and try some different beers. There'll be a couple limited things and some rarities. I think there's a keg of Trick or Treat that's saved for a rainy day, so I think we're going to bring that out. Yeah, some really fun stuff, and I think we have one more coming up later in April, right?
Yeah, I'm at the Bainbridge Street Barrel House, which is in kind of Old City. What's it? Old City / what's that?
Like South Philly, Graduate Hospital-ish, kind of.
Yeah, I wouldn't quite say Graduate Hospital.
I don't know, South 6th Street, whatever. It's a cool bar. They have Cantillon.
Nice.
Always, yeah.
It's right off of South Street, so it's
But
this?
I'm bringing
one?
the Randall. We're going to do something
that's
really
perfect.
cool with that. And the guys there are really awesome. So I'm
Nice.
really looking forward to that.
I
And
know-
we're doing an event with them during Philly Beer Week too. So
I know a lot of
Nice.
people who are around there. In fact, I have a friend that lives at 5th in Bainbridge, so I may have to stay with him that
Oh,
night.
that's cool.
And you can walk to Brauhaus Schmitz from there.
Yes, you can. Brauhaus Schmitz
Wiener
is...
Schnitzel?
Oh, man.
Speaking of Brauhaus Schmitz, little teaser. I think we should. If you've been following our expansion into the world of video production, we now have a cool YouTube channel, and we're going to be recording a special feature video at Brauhaus Schmitz shortly. So you'll get to meet Jeremy, the chef there, who's just had a cookbook published all about cooking with beer and German heritage and all that delicious German goodness. So we're going to be interviewing him. We're going to be at the restaurant. So check it out.
Which I cannot wait for.
Yeah.
Easily, and not to sing this because we're getting to record something with the head chef. Easily my favorite restaurant in this
Oh,
in
it's
this
awesome.
world.
It's awesome.
So good. So amazingly good.
And
Yeah.
the beer list is epic. If you
So-
love German beer, they get some German beers there that you can't get anywhere else in the States.
Absolutely. So it's just another part of how you've been listening to us all this time. Now
Now
can,
watch us.
Now you can watch
Now
us.
listen
as
to
well,
us eat.
Here's your reward.
and it's
And
going to
watch
be
us eat.
awesome.
Gaze upon us.
Yes, gaze upon the glory that is. Beer
As
Masters.
I
Did you
pour-
just finish?
You know what? Yes, I did.
have another bottle
and I don't
for you.
care.
Yeah, we have one more.
So dare I ask?
I'll have what she's having.
You really want to go down that road?
I was just
Are
trying
we
to.
doing favorites?
I was just trying to move this train wreck along.
I'll have what she's having.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will also have what she's having.
I absolutely agree.
it gets confusing at festivals when a couple come up and she orders the other beer that we have with us, and then he says, "I'll have what she's having." I'm like,
No, you have to
well-
say, I'll have what she's having.
So here's a question, and it may not see the light of day, and I apologize. Ma the meatloaf?
"Oh, it's coming. Yeah, it's the next beer.
Okay.
It's gonna be. We're gonna be start shipping it next week. I know. We were Steph and I were emailing. I was hoping to maybe have it in time for this, but unfortunately not.
Oh darn, you have to come back.
I know, right? We are really excited about that. I was at the brewery a week and a half ago and had it then, and it was awesome. Really hazy, a lot of mango flavor coming through, but then some great, little bits of the coriander and the sweet and bitter orange peel that we obviously put in the boil also. So
Get that into Wegmans
it
or
is
Acme
already approved.
Yeah, it's
before
already-
okay, good.
So
Specifically Acme, not even Wegmans. Fuck Wegmans. Get it into Acme.
No, do not fuck Wegmans.
No, Wegmans is awesome.
Trust me, that's not
Anything else coming? In the
I would make
pipelines?
love to Wegmans.
Yeah, and then
I
we're
would never.
Then we're gonna
fuck
do
Wegmans.
turtle. We're gonna do Turtle Power again, the grapefruit pale ale.
Nice.
That'll be for an April release. And then at the end of the month, we're gonna do a farmhouse IPA.
That's the Shut Up Meg.
Yep. So that's gonna be.
Nice.
Although it may be Shut Up
Shut Up
Luke.
Luke.
There you go.
I think it should be shut up, Luke. Not that I think you should shut up. That's not what I said. I'm sorry.
I don't even know how to say to that.
You keep talking. I just
Have we literally, for the first time since I've met you, are you speechless?
Maybe.
Last year, Luke got sick and he lost his voice. Best 2 days of my life.
Fucking asshole. Dude.
Wow.
I was really sick.
He was actually very
I was
sick.
fucking- I was
But
fucked.
you know what? It was great for me. So, pleasure, pain.
That's right.
Back to that whole life duality.
Yes. EvilGeniusBeer.com for all the
Yep.
new things that are happening
Addy-
with you guys
Yep.
and domestic Trevor and the Steves and whatnot.
Dude,
Yeah,
that
that's
is
true, yeah.
totally a band. Domestic Trevor and the Steves.
So, unfortunately, that brings us to the end of another episode of Beer Busters Podcast. Make sure you go to beerbusterspodcast.com and sign up for the newsletter.
Because there's a lot of outtakes.
Of course it is. It's these guys, of course. And these guys, of course, we have.
Trevor.
And
Luke.
guys, thank you so much for finding some reason to come back out to us. And I will certainly have what she's having, even though this bottle's out.
Yeah, checks in the mail, right?
Of course.
All right, good.
I assume so.
We're good for it.
Yes. As always, I am Dan Baker, joined by my co-host and brewologist,
Steph Hefner.
and our from entertainer.
I forgot my name.
That sounds about right. As always, no squids were harmed in the making of this episode.
Before we close, I'd like to take a moment of silence in remembrance
of the Queen Mother who died 10 years ago.
Of our illustrious head monarch, a nation mourns this evening as we lament the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. God save the Queen.